Lion voice, tell them that's the people first choice. Lion voice, make the lioness them feel nice. Lion voice, with the lion cubs we sacrifice. Lion voice, got to show the people them the life. Lion voice.
R-E-triple-G-O, Rego. Reggae music just a liquid go-go. R-E-triple-G-O, Rego. It's my style, it's my music, it's my beat, it's my flow. R-E-triple-G-O, Rego. Reggae music just a liquid go-go, come on.
Rego is in Africa. We're going to Jamaica. Rego from DC. Rego is international.
Before we hit up, we fucking know we hit up. We do everything we do, you know we hit up. 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 Yeah. I'm a nightmare. Only me alone can fix that bird.
When Rastafari repair the damage, some way we gotta find a way to manage. Yeah. You ain't gotta change for me. No need to explain to me. Hey yo, things change, things fall apart. Sometimes you gotta live with a broken heart. We survived as slaves, seen days to start. We crossed ocean waves, some were thrown to sharks. We survived that part, survived that ship. Now we got trouble with relationships. She wanna be a bad, some wanna be rich. Nobody want family life, we got trick. Got problems from slavery time, that's not fixed. Still we drop it like it's hot, caught by the matrix. In slavery times, I know I couldn't protect. You must admit, I know you lost a little respect. Greetings in that divine name of His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie I. Glory and honor in the name of his chosen queen, Empress Waziri Menen. My name is Kwasi Bonsu, aka the Chazmach Kwasi, aka Ras Kwasi, aka the Reading Ras, aka the Panafrican Happy Man. I'm an entertainment attorney, I'm an author, I'm an artist, I'm an actionist, and right now I'm the host of the Lion Voice. Welcome to the Lion Voice Network and welcome to the Lion Voice. We are here, we are giving thanks. We are now in the month of June and we have passed 920 subscribers. So I just want to big up the Lion Pride. Today we're going to return to a fundamental topic on this channel, and that is the Rastafari man standard. Part of the aim of this channel is to really help to cultivate the Rastafari man to lead a prosperous Rastafari future. The core audience of this channel are Rastafari brethren, although we have Lion Pride from all faiths, all walks of life. I want to acknowledge that, but the core is Rastafari. We're 95% according to the analytics, male right now. The female did spike up to 7%. We're back up to 95%, but don't worry, I have whole heap of content for the sistren on the way. Respect for everyone who watched our last episode of Lion Talk with daughter Aini, doing very well for the channel. And again, we're gonna have a lot more voices of our Rastafari sistren. We're just getting started. We have exciting things coming. Our second episode of Lion Talk Live, we're gonna be talking to Reverend Kwame Kamau. It's gonna be a powerful reasoning. There's a brethren who very versed, from a Hebrew kind of Israelite biblical perspective, a cannabis activist, Pan-African brethren who doing mighty work in the Caribbean out of Trinidad. We're gonna have him on the platform, so stay tuned for that. We have a lot planned. You saw the last episode, we talk about a free and united Africa, our 101st episode. And again, a key component of having this free united Africa is having a strong Rastafari male presence. I have to speak for what I am. Can't tell sister in the Mwefido, can't tell, but I can share my experience as a brethren coming through the trad. And there are certain fundamental tenets that we want to hone in on. We talked about the Rastafari man standard, that there has to be a basic standard. Right now, we see a lot of gray area going on within the trad, meaning you can't tell Rastafari from the regular person out there. Rastafari do everything with the people them do, which is not how it should be. There are certain standards that we have to live by that were set by His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie the First. And I'm gonna for this episode we're gonna visit the selected speeches. We're gonna visit page 12, which is the speech to the University College of Addis Ababa. This is one of the seminal speeches where His Majesty outlines leadership. We talked about it on the first Rastafari Man Standard, and I took 7 principles from that speech. So we're going to touch on some of those principles, but some other principles, because again, we have to build a foundation. We saw Dr. Aini say that the key to repatriation will be Rastafari families.
Well, my lord, honestly, I think that family is important.
Okay.
Because you need support.
Support.
You need company. You need someone to bounce ideas off of. You know, it's one thing to be resourceful, but when you only have yourself to depend on, it's not easy. You know, family is important. And I don't think that has been our focus, because you have to have strong families to build strong communities, to build a strong nation.
Family is the first government. Brethren, you're a king, and as a king, you have to know how to administrate your kingdom in truth and in rights, which means that you have to embody the principles of leadership. And so this speech to the University College of Addis Ababa is critical, because what it does is it really outlines certain principles about leadership that every Rastafari brethren need to live up to. This is the Armageddon. We're not in a test run. You know, we see the global systems collapsing, the price of living getting higher. Everywhere you turn, crisis, you know, people having family crisis, economic crisis, people struggling to keep their head above water. We're coming out of a global pandemic. People were hit hard and now trying to normalize or catch up forward time. So these are perilous times. And so we need a strong force of brethren. And I want to cultivate that with lion pride. Even though I know that not all the lion pride are Rastafari, what we want to do is make sure that the Rastafari and the lion pride exemplify the Rastafari man standard. That to I would be a fitting work that we can contribute to this channel. And I want to big up, I spoke to an elder member of the Lion Pride, an esteemed elder professional. And that's the thing I have to let the IDM know, because of I Network and because of the works in the community. Although we haven't even passed 1,000 subscribers, and I want to just again acknowledge we had set 1,000 subscribers for June 1st. We didn't make that goal. So I shared that on the community tab, because I don't just want to come and talk about the victory. When you're creative, things happen and things don't happen. You set your goal, you strive to meet the goal. Sometimes you're not going to meet the goal. Nothing wrong with that. That's part of the process. So I shared that. But I said that to say I spoke with a brethren, an elder brethren, professional. Brethren is an architect, esteemed, in the Caribbean for his work, Rastafari elder. And he shared with I that he watches the program and, reading Rasta and how he loved the works. And this is the reason that I keep the pace that I keep in terms of putting out content, making sure there's content every day, because between the comments, between the phone calls, because I wouldn't think this elder was even watching the content. We're working together, but you don't know that people are watching at the same time. So we're building a wonderful community, and it's going to be powerful. But again, particularly for the younger brethren, we want to set some standards, because we realize that because community is not gathering like we used to, a lot of elders poured into I am the product of a lot of elders pouring in a lot of tradition. I came up in the time when there was a lot of gathering, so I was shaped by that environment. That environment no longer exists, so we have to find ways in keeping with modernization to spread the message. So I want to use this channel to do that, and I want to use this program also to do that. So we're talking about the Rastafari man standard. So let me talk about the first thing that we want to look at here, which is leadership does not mean domination. So this comes straight out of the speech. Leadership does not mean domination. What does that mean? It means that a leader, the greatest leaders are really servants of the people. But they serve an executive function, meaning they're getting things done. And that is the example I want to set in terms of leading the Lion Pride. In terms of, you have a lot of internet communities, but I want to develop a community where we can actually get work done. I haven't stopped working in the 20 years that I've been in the trad. So having, a support system that is standing with I, so that we can magnify the work, 10x the work, we can build the institutions, strengthen the institutions that have already been created, and really create a sustainable ecosystem and infrastructure for Rastafari. That's part of the legacy I want to see with the Lion Pride. So that's part of the legacy I want to see with the Lion Pride. So if you're part of the Lion Pride, big up. And remember, if you subscribe, you're part of the Lion Pride. And you don't have to be Rastafari. You might just love some of the other content. You might just love the interviews. You might just love some other aspect. You might just be here for the music, waiting for the artist to do something, which is coming. Whatever you're here for, we just want to say give thanks. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for part of. Thank you for joining us on this beautiful journey. Who would have thought that we would be over 900 subscribers strong right now? But we are. But anyhow, enough of that. Leadership does not mean domination. That means that we're here to serve the people. We're here to serve the Lion Pride. As a father, you're there to serve your family. You're in service of your children and their needs. You're in service of your queen, ensuring that she's safe, she can dwell within her feminine energy. As a lion, as a brethren in the community, you're there to serve the community needs to the best of your ability. One of the things that we have not done as a community is building individual economics. And this is why, again, I want to champion the creative ecosystem way of life, because if we don't have strong individuals, we're not going to have strong families, because of course the king should be one of the primary breadwinners. You should have an economic base to build a kingdom. That's just part of our principles on this channel. Once you have that economic base, then you can build a strong family. Strong families build strong communities. Strong community builds strong nations. Strong nation build that unified continent, that Zion on earth that we're talking about, or that we're seeking to build and develop on this channel. So it starts with, as a brethren, making sure that the economic ecosystem, and as kings, whatever that economic endeavor, it should be something that serves the needs of the people. That's in keeping with Rastafari way of life. So there's nothing wrong with monetizing service. Our intention is to build a network here and to monetize, but that's why we try to bring information to the youth. We try to bring value to the youth, whether it be through Lion Law, where we're talking about entertainment law topics, whether we're interviewing thought leaders from around the different aspects of the network, whether we're just reasoning on Rastafari, liberty, or relationship topics. We try to bring value. And the aim is to monetize so we can step up the pace of everything. And speaking of monetization, we have to big up Ramia King Designs. These are part of their product offerings. They've come on board as a sponsor, so we want to big them up for coming on board, supporting the platform. We want to also just big up Rastlage, and I just want to take some time. The brethren, reason with the brethren, and the brethren informed me that he lost one of his brothers to violence. And if one's watched the Rastlage episode on Lion Talk, you would know that he has lost other brothers to violence.
If I talk about Southeast in them days, I don't really like to talk about it a lot, but I have to now.
Yes.
Because the story has to be told.
And that's it.
And it was very, very dark. I personally myself have 4. My mother have 7 youth. I'm the youngest of 6 boys. I have 1 sister younger than me. Okay. I have 4, so I'm the youngest son. I have 4 older brothers, man, dead. 2 of them murder. Gunshot, murders. 1 brother dead from AIDS and 1 brother from cancer. You understand? So at that time there, in anybody who ever experienced death of any kind of way, it affects you.
And, 2 other brothers he lost to violence, he lost 1 more. So when we talk about Washington, D.C., we talk about some of the problems of the inner city. We talk about badness and these things on this channel. Know that it's very real and that it impacts a lot of us coming from rural or inner city backgrounds. A lot of us who have roots in the working class of people, we're not far removed from this. So I want to just ask the Lion Pride to send up prayers for our brethren Rastlage, who lost his brother. It's a big story in the city here in DC. I actually heard about the story on the news before I knew it was related to the brethren. So big up Rastlage. He's come on board supporting this platform, part of the family, part of the network. So Lion Pride, show some love to the brethren, whether it's in the comments or just sending up our eyes. But we just want one's nose to the Gideon real right now. And as we are telling the story has not stopped unfolding. We're navigating this Gideon in real time. So again, leadership does not mean domination. Number 2 is inspire others to follow. So this is one of the principles that His Majesty said is a mark of true leadership, that true leaders are going to inspire ones to follow in their wake in terms of doing great works. Again, I can relate it to self in terms of the creative ecosystem. I have brethren that I've already started to try to implement. I've been sharing it with ones, and now that I am stepping out, I see more ones also reaching out, inquiring how they can set up or how they can support. So again, all of us have this ability, and this is why on this channel I'm super transparent with the audience, because the idea is not just to be out here I and I self. We want to see other people build their ecosystems, but adapt it to what they're doing in their creative space. I have this long intro. It's intentional because these are all of the areas of the passion. So we use this platform as a hub for everything, so we can brand in all of those areas through the repetition. So we want to see other creatives come up and start their YouTube channels, to start putting out their Patreon, to start building out their ecosystem on different social media platforms, to start collecting their email lists, to start sending out their newsletter. Because why? when we have all of these decentralized ecosystems, everybody will attract their own audience. But now what happens? We can cross promote. I can go and interview on your platform or appear on your platform, vice versa. And now the interplay, the audiences are there. So that means Babylon cannot cancel us. We have created our own consumer ecosystem. We've created our own marketplace. So, by I stepping out again and talking about these topics, providing the information instead of trying to hoard it, it has inspired others to follow suit. And again, we want to see other people's works. Shine your light in Mount Zion. We don't have to feel threatened. We have an abundance mindset, and I have some big announcements. Some collaborations are coming. We've been reasoning, with ones and ones. So you're going to hear about some collaborations announced. And I'm going to be honest, I have some advantages the average creative does not have, but I've been transparent with that. I told everyone from the beginning that my superpower was the network. Over 20 years in multiple fields, building relationships. So my growth is rapid. Even it's 95% organic growth. We haven't really done any paid marketing spend yet. We've done a little bit of testing here and there, but we haven't rolled out any paid marketing. So it's organic growth. Some of you may be on 300 subscribers for a year, 2 years. It might take you the time, but being consistent beats perfection. And right now, we need to see Rastafari brethren push out with different economic models. You might not have the ecosystem model, but you might have something else. We need to see it right now, brethren. And you need to have a direct relationship with your consumer base. So regardless of what you're doing, the ecosystem is going to apply, because you want to create that direct-to-consumer ecosystem to sustain whatever you're doing. So again, we want to see you push out with that by I pushing out with the Lion Voice Network. Again, we are seeking to inspire others to follow with their economic model and share. We need each other's strength to rise right now. One of the fascinating things that I read in the speech is that His Majesty said that story of nations is often told through the accomplishments of individuals. What does that mean? That means that in this global Rastafari nation, we need some individuals to step out and to do some mighty works. We can't just rely on the artists alone. Enough of the artists, are dwelling within a gray area in terms of their administration right now. And, they can make an economic argument for that. I see both sides of the argument. I wouldn't choose that route there. But again, I also understand a lot of them have not built out a full ecosystem, and they're dependent on that mainstream pipeline to sustain their economic model. And so you become vulnerable, to the whims of the modern era. So regardless of what we're talking about, it's critical for us to build around Marcus Garvey's self-determination, and we have the tools to do so with the internet. So that is what makes right now so powerful, and that's what makes the Lion Pride. You see it there? We were chatting with 2 fire angels in the Patreon for months. Then a third coming, then a fourth, then a fifth. The consistency, we'll have more people who see the works and say, okay, the brethren is consistent. You know what? For the price of buying a cup of coffee, because you can subscribe for $5 a month, you can do $10 a month, you can do $25, $40, whatever is in your budget. But you are going to have more people in the Lion Pride that say, okay, I'm part of the Lion Pride, but you know what? I love the works. I want to see the works elevate. I want to see more of this type of content. I see the brethren I invest in thing. We want to build a studio on the continent and really capture the story of this great repatriation. And again, the lions telling their own story as it unfolds, because this is prophecy, this is history unfolding. We are the generation of them that get to see this in real time. So I had to step out there so that we can have our own voice, because we can't rely upon these other platforms, because I'm not seeing the voice that I want to hear as a Rastafari brethren. You know, and big up all of the other Rastafari brethren and sisters on YouTube. And I hope to be able to interview all of them and get their stories. So this is not to dismiss what they are doing, but there's a unique type of content that I and I are seeking to bring, and part of that is that actual repatriation. And as a brethren who is actively in that mindset, we want to bring that side of the story. I want to share my network, because I know a lot of Rastafari brethren who are doing powerful work, but I'm not seeing that reflected on many platforms. So instead of complaining, as an actionist, we have to get it done. And again, that's part of the leadership, inspiring others to follow. His Majesty inspired I and I to do this work. So as a servant of His Majesty, inspired, and it will inspire others, and it just keep on going. I'm inspired by my brethren like Bingi Shan out there administrating Habesha as the executive director on the continent, pioneering work. Brethren like Reverend Kamal, who are advocating for cannabis within the halls of the UN and other major platforms. Brethren like Kadamawi Knife, who are drafting plans and models for Rastafari to rise within this modern era through agricultural pursuits and these things. These are the narratives, these are the things that we want to bring forward on this channel. So again, that's part of leadership, and all of us have to be leaders. And that brings us to the next part, which is that the part of the speech where it says everyone has an opportunity to lead, no matter what you do. If you're a janitor, if you're whatever your field, there's an opportunity for excellence, and in the excellence you provide leadership, because leadership is not relished to titles. You can be the servant, and the person who is in charge will follow your lead, because you exemplify leadership. Leadership is a liberty, is a way of life. And again, we want to reinstall that in the Rastafari man standard, because I see too much of I and I following. And I'm not talking about a brethren who see the light and him get a tattoo and him see the light and him come to fire. I'm talking about brethren who I hear Rastafari and then I go get tattoo and them thing there. It's like you follow Babylon, you want to be in style, because we accept, the world, we have to accept how I come into the trad, but there have to be standard. We can't be doing all of them things, the cutting of the flesh, the this, the that, the that, the that. You know what I mean? The goodie is a temple of the Most High Rastafari. We never see His Majesty with no tattoo and these things are. So what are we doing? We are the embodiment. We are the manifestation of His Imperial Majesty throughout the earth. That's why we're called by His name. So just like, His Majesty, that Christ consciousness, exemplify the works of Yeshua on a governmental level, we now exemplify that Christ consciousness on an individual, residential, industrial level, meaning that we as the people now manifest that heavenly existence, that liberty on earth, transforming everything into productive space through the Iris Rastafari vibration, positive. We're talking about the elimination of the slums, all these things that we had put forward in the other episode, the building of Zion, a transformation, a rethinking of how we experience earth, the harmonization of nature and modernization. We are them that have come for this purpose, and this is why, again, we have work to do. We can't afford to get into the mix-up, because that is the great work that we are called to do. That is what His Majesty did in Ethiopia. the highest of himself shall establish her. Yeah, I see it. One of the things that's emphasized in this speech is initiative. A man must possess initiative. It says a man must strive in order to grow. And to strive, you have to train yourself out of the fear of failure. And we talked about that on the original Rastafari Man Standard. You have to get out of fear of failure. You know, we set a goal, put it out to the public. We said by June 1st we wanted to get 1,000 subscribers. It never happened. You have to humble yourself and come forward and acknowledge the failure. And then you still keep pushing. Because we're still pushing. You know what I mean? Set a new goal. And we keep moving forward. But again, we remember when we were at 10 subscribers, when we were at 20 subscribers, we gave thanks for those as well. So each part, you know, on the community tab, we said we give thanks to reach 900. So even as we acknowledge the failure, we're still thankful for where we are. And when you keep that attitude, working hard, attitude of gratitude, keep pushing forward, you must reach your goal. It may not be on your time that you had put forward. However, sometimes it will be before that time, sometimes it will be after the time, but you will reach because you're pushing to reach that time. A lot of time, what happens as brethren, you say, I want to achieve something, but because you don't set no hard goals or dates, it takes a lot longer to achieve than if you had buckled down and just got serious about achieving it. So we want to establish that principle in the Lion Pride, that we are goal setters. We set goals, and it's okay to be competitive. When you hear I say I want to be the #1 Rastafari platform, it's not because we don't love what other Rastafari content creators. It's because we want to set anything that we do, we want to be the best. In doing that, that is a very masculine trait. Nothing wrong with that, because iron sharpens iron, and through that competition is how we achieve that excellence and higher standards of excellence. You know, what we don't do is we don't envy our brethren, we don't wish ill intent on our brethren, because that vibe poisons the heart, you know, and it's gonna create distortion within your vibration. So we're not into that, but we have to be striving for goals, goal setting. So these are the characteristics that we want to set within the Lion Pride, within male leadership. Set goals for your family. You know what I mean? That you want to achieve. Right now, the Bonsu family, we're on a repatriation mission. You know, we purchased land, we did certain things, and now we're preparing for the building. And if you want to be part of that, again, in the Patreon, that's where we're going to share those personal family building and the building in Zion. We have exclusive footage up there right now, you know, of what we're doing in Ghana, the land in Ghana, these things. So all of that content will be loaded on the Patreon. And again, some people will want to follow for that. Some people have other reasons. But the important thing is that the vision I had for the ecosystem, instead of just telling people about it, I'm actually implementing it. It's a lot of work. I'm full-time in the law, so I have to find the time. But again, what you have to do, you have to strive to grow. By being comfortable, you're not going to achieve your goals. So we want the Lion Pride characteristics to really strive. His Majesty says one must develop initiative and perseverance. Perseverance, again, is a cousin to consistency. You have to persevere. You have to be consistent. It beats perfection every day of the week. And these are the principles that we want to share. Finally, and this could have been first, but a true leader is one that recognizes he's an instrument in the hands of the Almighty. So this is the principle. Again, everything that we're doing, again, is recognizing that we are instruments in the hands of the Almighty. So as we grow, as we build, as we are able to monetize and accumulate multiple streams of income, you will see the investment. You will see the building of Zion. You will see the amplification of the work as we empower others. Again, I want to create a portal within Rastafari, because I watch a lot of other content creators. You have Muslim content creators, you have other ones who are dealing with their things, and everyone have their voice. So we want to make sure, again, Rastafari, the Lions, have their voice. And I'm not going to be dealing with any of the mix-up or the crisis unless it really leads to a point of the development and moving forward. This channel is a solution channel. This channel, we're talking about repatriation, reparation, the building of Zion, all of those things. And again, that's part of leadership, to chart the way forward and to expose the world to a network of brethren and sisters who are on the same vibration, because enough of we out there. And even since putting up the Lion Voice Network, I've met many more are reaching out, and so we're building a nice energy and a community. So big up everyone who has made comments, met themselves known, who said them love the content. Big up all of the ones who are doing the works. We are mighty and we're uniting, and we're uniting on this platform. And big up the Lion Pride on Patreon. Again, for the price of a cup of coffee, the one said, listen, Starbucks now get all of my money, I'm going to support the brethren and watch the thing grow. Circulate the Rastafari dollar, circulate the Pan-African dollar with a Rastafari, with a Pan-African brethren. So again, big up for that. And again, we want to create Rastafari brethren to lead the Rastafari future. We need strong brethren who can vet and select strong queens who can then protect and raise strong Rastafari youth, so that we ensure that the levity is strong into Generation Z, Generation Alpha, all of these new generations to come. And as brethren, at time we hold the line, because the time has come for the Lions to tell our own story. And this is the Lion's Voice.
Lion Voice. When Rastafari repair the damage, some way we gotta find a way to manage. You ain't gotta change for me. No need to explain to me. Hey yo, things change, things fall apart. Sometimes you gotta live with a broken heart. We survived as slaves, seen days to start. We crossed ocean waves, some were thrown to sharks. We survived that part, survived that ship. Now we got trouble with relationships. She wanna be a bad, some wanna be rich. Nobody want family life, we got trick. Got problems from slavery time, that's not fixed. Still we drop it like it's hot, caught by the matrix. In slavery times, I know I couldn't protect. You must admit, I know you lost a little respect. And I know that I had to fight back. You had to watch my manhood under attack. And if I tried to react, killed her locked in a cage. The same rules still apply in the cyber age. Hey, yo, you ain't gotta change for me. In fact, no need to explain to me. I'm a king, that's why it's plain to see. You're a queen, not who you claim to be. Hey, yo, you ain't gotta change for me. In fact, no need to explain to me. I'm a king, that's why it's plain to see. You're a queen, not who you claim to be. She got a back tattoo, her neck tattoo, got a nose ring and a tongue ring too. Got a makeup mask that I can see through. I know what's under the weave and all the hair blue. She got kinky hair, just like mine. First queen of the earth, so I know she divine.